What's up, everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to Track Walk episode 77, I think, in MX Simulator. And today I am doing a requested track, as we are on the week break between Nationals and Supercross IRL, and had one suggestion a while back and another suggestion recently to do Gasper Hills by VMX Sky 99. And so I'm taking advantage of the off week to do a little bit of other stuff in Sim. Obviously, we'll get back to doing stuff like this pretty much exclusively after Nationals end, which will be in about 13 weeks after this one. And then we'll have episode 100 somewhere in that range. But in the meantime, just doing this one right now. And I've played this track before, even though so far it definitely looks like I haven't, because I'm over jumping stuff and not really sure where I'm going and whatever. But I played this track a long time ago. I think this track came out in 2013. As I said, it was made by a guy named VMX Sky 99, who used to make stuff, I'm pretty sure, for Reflex as well. He may have made stuff for MCM, like Motocross Madness. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I think that's the story, though. I know most of this information because of Chris Riesenberg or Checkers, who knew him a little bit. And Checkers became a track creator through making tracks in MCM and then eventually into Reflex and stuff like that, in Untamed and Unleashed and whatnot. So he's from the generation before I knew what was really going on in the moto gaming community, but try to know a little bit about him. And again, I still don't look like I know what I'm doing because I keep just tossing things and crashing. But I promise you, I did play this track at one point and played it actually quite a bit, because I feel like this used to be a track that a lot of people really enjoyed to play. It's a fun track. It's just kind of like this little national track, not anything like... It's not based on a real track, I don't think, or anything crazy. He said it's like supposed to be situated in the hills of southern Kentucky, I think is what it says on the forum post. But I'm not sure if that means that it's a real track or if it's just that's the location that it's situated in. But it's a fun track nonetheless, and it feels like it could have some elements of realism to it. But if it's not real, then it's still a very fun track regardless. And it's kind of unique because I feel like this track has really, really like sticky traction. Like you can just kind of lay it over and the bike will just stick pretty much in any rut or little notch or anything like that, which is kind of cool about some tracks. Sometimes you get a track that is pretty bleh. And then there's also some pretty big jumps on this track as well, like uphill quads like that one there and whatnot. It's a definitely unique track, and Sky's always been really good at building tracks. I love some of the Supercross tracks that he's built in this game. He made some of these tracks called like Off-Season SX and whatnot a little ways back. So he always does really good work, and this was no exception. I think I want to say that he also helped out with some RF racing stuff last year and into some Supercross races this year, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know that he and Chris had bounced ideas like that off of each other recently. And yeah, so that's the maker of the track, and now you're gonna see me try to learn this track once again after playing it numerous times before and now trying to get a hold on it again. You may notice that I'm wearing my like virtual lap stuff, which is a set of fly gear released by xdustin513x on the forums. And if someone asks, I will link that. I'm not too sure if I'll remember to link it in the video. I'm also wearing the new Arai VX4, I think, helmet is what it's called, which is made by MX985. And our SYS team is going to be running these helmets pretty much exactly replica to this. We're going to change them up just a little bit, but they have like the Verbmoto logos down the side of them and stuff like that. We're not on the Verbmoto team in Sim, which has absolutely nothing to do with the Verbmoto company, to be honest with you. But because I work at Verbmoto, I want to kind of rep that company a little bit in the game. So just running a helmet decal that looks similar to it. We'll also have a couple different colorways. And when we release our public pack and stuff from Outdoors this year, which will probably be next week sometime, You can download that and run our helmets, and you can run the gear without our name and number on it, run the bike without the name and number on it, because we'll have public stuff for everybody. And we'll try to pick up doing the giveaways for our team pack with your name and number personalized onto it that we started doing in Supercross. We still have to give away to the one winner that got it in Supercross, and we still have 5 more packages to give away. That was part of the prize package that we did when Jeremy and I played online play episode 20. It was 20, I guess, which was a Christmas special where we went Christmas shopping or hunting or whatever you want to call it for like Christmas presents that Nathan Zaworski hid on Avalon Brush. And that was supposed to be done during Supercross, but I've been stupid busy. I'm really like taking time away right now from studying for my final exams in my last semester of college right now to be doing this. I just needed a break. My eyes have been drooping and all this stuff like that. Haven't gotten a lot of sleep the last couple nights, so needed a break, and that's why I'm doing track walk now. It's also why content's been down this week. If you didn't watch our MXGP2 career mode video and you've been wondering where all the content is this week and why there's no live stream and stuff, no live stream because there's no national this week or no Supercross. Nationals kick off next week, and we'll have more information about that on the channel coming out next week. But I'm pretty much dead right now, buried in finals and stuff like that, and Jeremy's still got all of his stuff going on with the work that he's doing at the gym that he works for and trying to become a personal trainer. So we're just kind of taking a little step back this week, but we'll have more stuff coming out once nationals get underway, and once I graduate college we'll be kind of full tilt again, which should be good. But that's just kind of what's going on, because I don't know, like, if people are wondering why we're not putting content out and if we're dying off or anything, because we're not. We've had the biggest single month growth that we've had, I think, ever last month, where we went 1,100 subscribers up, and I was super stoked on that. We crested 10,000, and it's only up from here. Crested 10,000 on April 27th, and I was looking back the other day through some of the comments on our YouTube channel, and 4 months ago, I want to say it was, we had just broke 6,000, so pretty crazy to get basically 1,000 a month to get over 10,000 now. We're halfway to 11,000 from 10,000. We're already over 10,500 subs. Hopefully that number continues to rise as we head into the outdoors. We're going to start, as I said, putting more content out. I feel like I keep teasing you guys with, like, here, we're getting more stuff coming out and all this, but I promise it's coming. More World of MXS is coming too. Once I'm done with college, that series will get started up again, and you guys will actually be able to follow me in some of the little like video blogs that I'll do for that series. Follow me to some of the nationals that I'm going to this year. I'm guaranteed to go to Glen Helen right now, but I should also maybe make it to a couple others. I've been to Washougal before, so that's a possibility. And would love to make a Southwick trip happen, especially with it back on the schedule, but I'm not going to promise anything. It's just something that I'm kind of looking at as a possibility. So I'll keep everybody updated with that. But if you missed me going to an event, you can see what it was like for me at that event through the World of MXS, which the whole point of that is I'm going to try to go to these races and meet people from Sim that you may not know. The next episode that's coming out will feature some of the people that I met when I went to the Phoenix and San Diego 2 Supercrosses earlier in the year from Sim that you may or may have never heard of or whatever. And that'll kind of just be making up for Supercross. The series stopped more or less because I stopped racing, so there wasn't anything really to cover. But now that I'm back, done with school and all that stuff, and I'll get more time, I definitely would like to kick it off again. But we got a lot more stuff going on. I'm going to really start getting into other motorsports. This is a motorsports channel, so we're not just sticking with moto. We're going to get into other motorsports. We're also going to probably start doing weekly podcasts as well, especially now that my old This Week in Moto Gaming co-host Aaron is back in town after spending a year away at college in Maine. So we'll get more of that coming. I'm really excited for the content schedule that we got lined up, and I hope that you guys will appreciate it in about a month's time when it really starts coming through, because, you know, once I'm through with school, it's definitely going to start picking up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying this track walk. Keep running 211s. That was the second 211 in a row. 211 in a row. 211 in a row, I think. Or is the finish line up here? I don't know where the finish line is on this track. Maybe it's this race tech banner. It is not. Can't believe I still got that, whatever that was, from almost a stop. This track is super grippy though. Like I said, like I have to kind of check up on the gas coming out of corners and stuff like that. But it's super fun as well. And thanks to you guys for recommending it. I like the recommendations of track walks when we have a week off or something. I think there will be a week off during nationals, so we'll have another recommended track walk week probably, where I'll take a recommendation from you guys and do it. But yeah, this track is fun indeed. And where did I just pass the finish line at? Is it that thing over there? Oh yeah, see, it says finish on it on the right side there. Huh. All right, let's get focused and try to run some laps here and put some laps in. I also been working on suspension a little bit. We'll probably get a suspension tutorial for outdoors coming sometime soon. As I said, because I'm so busy, it's just I can't guarantee anything is going to be done at the moment. But I want to get something like that done because you guys have been asking for it. And yes, with the suspension updates to the way that they have been in Sim, I would say that changing your suspension from Supercross to outdoors is pretty crucial. A lot of people were saying that they ran Brian Haskell, aka Shack Attack 12's old Supercross suspension indoors. I saw a couple people like Tanner Rogers, Connor Lynn's, a plethora of the other younger 250 generation riders in Sim now saying they got their Supercross setup from Brian Haskell. So if you want to just keep focusing on Supercross, there is a topic, I think it's in general discussion, called like Shaq setups or Brian setups or something. I'll try to find it, but if I don't, just go look there on the forums. And Brian Haskell, former two-time MX Simulator Supercross champion, released his setup way back when or something, and I guess it's worked out pretty well for people. So that's where you want to go with Supercross, but we'll have something for outdoors, I'm sure, especially once outdoors get kicked off and people are looking for stuff. So don't touch that dial. You'll be get set up, I promise. And a promise has been made. But my setup right now feels alright. It feels really good on Glen Helen, which I'm kind of stoked on, because if there's one track that I want to feel good on, it's my home track. Not too sure about any RF races I may do this year yet. Last year, you know, I only raced the Daytona Supercross, and then I raced Washougal on a 450 and High Point on a 250F. Fared pretty well. I got a 6th in the first moto at High Point in the 250 class. Got a 9th, I think, in the second moto at Washougal. I went 12-9 for 9th or something at Washougal. So I don't know if I'll do anything like that this year. I may try to race Glen Helen, but it totally depends on if Jeremy's going to have time to cover the stream, because I really don't know when he's going to have time or when he won't have time. But if he does have time, I'd like to race it. I know that Jeremy's not planning on racing outdoors at the moment. In fact, the only SYS guy that will be racing outdoors for the time being is 2013 outdoor champion Zach Dupuis. But I'm perfectly comfortable with just fielding a team with my friends. Doesn't matter if they're not racing or not. I don't want a group of kids that I don't like on my team, so don't ask. Just saying that because there will be 1,000 people after I say that statement. Like, oh, ride free outdoors, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, bro. Don't know who you are. Gonna go ahead and stick with the mates that I know. Whoa, cutting the track. All right, we're just gonna go with that line. That's definitely the hot line, so we're just gonna stick with it here. Ugh. It's kind of hard. I don't really know how to explain when things happen. Sometimes I get comments on videos where people are like, oh man, how did you save that there? Like, what did you do, or how did you make that corner, or what are you doing? And we have a lot of tutorial videos trying to explain stuff like that. For example, whenever I have a big swap in the braking bumps, which I noticed I had one earlier, I tried to explain how to save stuff like that in our whoops tutorial that we did about a year ago on the channel, because braking bumps in this game are pretty much, you got to treat them like whoops. Because that's just how they work, honestly, in this game. They don't move or anything. Whoops are sturdy and solid, and braking bumps in this game are the exact same way, so you have to treat them that way. And when you get a little sideways, yes, you can kind of like tilt the stick in one direction or the other to try to save yourself. But if you do it too much in any direction, it's over. You're not even going to come close to saving it. You're actually going to crash harder than you probably would have. You may have just slid out if you swapped or something like that. But trying to save it too aggressively, you're going to crash harder and be off the bike for longer. So like my recommendations is if you see it start to swap a little bit, you can just kind of make minute movements back and forth depending on which way the bike is trying to go. But at the very least, just kind of let it try to sort itself out. Go down to a lower gear and pin it usually helps too. If you're in like first gear wide open, the back end will just kind of try to kick straight and it'll slow you down as well instead of being on the brakes, which is the back end trying to get anywhere but straight and you slowing down at the same time. So clicking down to low gears really helps with stuff like that. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff in this game is a feel thing, and I hate to be the person that says that for people that are trying to learn the game and pick up on stuff. But you know, we get asked all the time to do like whip tutorials and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, okay, we'll get a whip tutorial done for you, and we honestly will. We have that one coming in the works too, about how to do oppo whips and stuff like that too. But a lot of that stuff you kind of just have to play with your settings to get a loose enough setting where you're comfortable to do whips, and then just do them repeatedly. And I never recommend for people to play the game just because of the whips in it, because you're going to be bitterly disappointed with the fact that like, sick, you can throw a bitchin' whip, but you're never going to bring it back, and when you do, you probably aren't going to land it because you don't know how the game physics work. So I try to tell people, learn the game, learn how to play the game well, be fast at the game, then learn how to be stylish. Like that will come eventually. Like I learned how to get fast at this game well before I decided like, I'm gonna start integrating whips and like 360s and other stuff that I've shown you guys how to do on this channel. So I would just say learn the game if you're new to it before you try to just, oh, how do you whip and how do you get upside down like Justin Barsha, and oh man, that's all I want to do in this game. Well, then you're in the wrong game. You should go play Reflex. I'm honest. Like that's, if you want to just be here for the whips, Reflex, in all honesty, has better whips than this game. It's just that these ones have more realism on either side of it. So you can get all naughty and sideways and nasty and bring it back, and then when you land, you get a little swap heavy, or you land and go too far and you have to brake really hard coming into the corner. Reflex, you can pretty much damn near land a flat and it'll just give you the reflex stick, and it's like, sup bro, like no biggie, I got you, arcade physics to the max. So if you want to whip, Reflex. If you want to actually learn how to play a motocross simulator, play this game and the style will come. I promise. We'll teach you guys how to do whips, but I recommend highly that you learn how to play the game well before you learn how to do a whip well. Like I said, that's how I learned. I wanted to be fast at this game. I wanted to be on a competitive pro RF level, and I learned how to be fast and at a pro RF level in about 9 months of playing this game, where there's some people that play this game for 6 to 7 years and they've never figured that out because they've been trying to be stylish or whatever. And I like the method that I took because now I can run clean, consistent laps on most tracks and throw the occasional awesome style in there, and I like the style that I have in this game. So I definitely like the path that I took much more than trying to learn how to be flashy and awesome. It's fine if that's what you want to do, be flashy and awesome and not learn how to actually play the game. There's a couple people I know that have tried to learn the game like that, but eventually at some point those people got down to business and learned how to actually ride the track as well, because you're not going to get the speed and the straight line and the ability to know what's going on coming up to a jump if you in order to do those whips, if you don't even know how to play the game. So I mean, like I said, I try to tell you guys little snippets here and there of what I do so that you can maybe pick up on what I'm doing and learn and be excited about something. You're like, wow, I didn't know that that's how you save that, or I didn't know that that's how you bring whips back, or like another thing that I like to point out with my whips is that I tend to lean back right off the face, but if it's leaned too far forward, then you have to shift up to like 5th gear and pin it to get the inertia of the bike to swing like around as if you're pinned wide open doing a backflip or something. Like that's a terrible example because none of you have ever done a backflip before, probably, on a dirt bike. But you know, when you see like Pastrana, when he knows he's gonna under rotate a backflip, he's wicked. He's wide open, trying to get the bike to rotate, and that's what you have to do with a whip. And that's you can see some people, like, I don't think Barsha honestly is full tapped revved in midair because he's trying to bring his whips back. I think that's just his style. But you can see some guys when they're really whipped out, like they're just pinned. I want to say 2013 Indy or St. Louis Supercross GoPro with Ryan Villapoto. He passes Dungey, I think, and he's trying to go past Millsaps to win the race, and he scrubs the literally scrubs the tits off the finish line so hard that like tits are not existent anymore. Like women don't have tits because he scrubbed that jump so hard. So he's like in a mode where he's not gonna bring it back. Like it's so far scrubbed over, and he's hauling it back towards him. But you can tell that he's trying to get the inertia of the bike up because he scrubbed so far forward and down that the nose is too low. So he's wide open, and that's how this game works. Is if your nose is too low, you hold it pinned and you keep that nose high, or you try to bring it up again while simultaneously bringing a whip back and maybe leaning back a little bit to help you along the way. But your throttle and brake control in this game will help a lot with stuff going on in the air. Like I use my rear brake a lot to level out. So like if I pull back here, rear brake, lean forward, maybe tap the front brake down to get the bike level. Like that's just kind of what goes through it to get the bike to do what you want it to do. And as I said, I hate to say this, but it's a total feel thing. You have to really learn how to play the game to understand that stuff works like that. For some reason, I mean, not for some reason, I mean, you kind of understand the reason why these pros that race in real life pick up the game and are good very quickly. I don't think Aaron Plessinger puts that much time into sim, but he's pretty good at it. Like he's a pretty decent mid to high level amateur rider in this game. And he's a damn good IRL pro, and the same can go for like Jeremy Smith and Matt Burkeen, who both have their pro cards in real life and are really, really good riders. It didn't take them that long to learn this game. So if you have an understanding of how real life moto works, at some point this game is going to come to you, and it just takes that kind of commitment to actually put in the time to understand the hand-eye coordination with it. My hands are moving all the time on the controller. This is far and away the game that I move my hands the most on the controller. Like no other game am I literally getting tired. It's a joke, but it's not really that we get hand pump during 30-minute plus 2-lap motos and RF races. It honestly happens. I've had it happen before, particularly when I won my moto at Budds Creek in 2014 in the 450 class. Like by the end of that race, I was shaking my hands off of Henry Hill. Like I'd go off of Henry Hill and I'd take my left hand off the controller and start shaking my hand, more or less because I was like kind of nervous and trying to get my hand to wake up so that I could keep riding at the pace I was going. But also because like my hand was like physically starting to get tired because my thumb's moving around and doing all this crazy stuff. And it's so dumb. Like, yeah, it's a video game. Why are you getting thumb pump, hand pump, whatever you want to call it from a video game? But that just, like, I'm just kind of emphasizing how much, like, movement goes into playing this game effectively. I think the same is going to be true for when MX Bikes becomes popular. I think you're going to have a lot of hand motion stuff going on to be able to play that game well. And it's pretty crazy. Like I said, if you watch my, like, controller setup tutorial video that I did on this channel and watch the one lap that I did on Wheeler SX in that video, like my hands are moving all over the place, and someone even commented and said like that looks painful. Like holy crap, your hands are moving a lot. And yeah, it's pretty gnarly. So like I said, it takes a while. You have to learn kind of the muscle memory of what exactly your hands are doing, exactly where your hands are, what your fingers are pushing, and what that does to the bike. And eventually you'll get your hands and stuff used to the quick motions. And if you already know what you're kind of doing in real life, it helps. So I think that's why these pro guys, they know what they're doing in real life. So, initially they pick up the game and they're like, oh, I should be doing this. And they have their hand motion start doing this, and then they figure it out pretty quickly. So Anyway, 25 minutes into the video now, so I think I'll wrap it up here. Finish off this lap, but I just want to thanks everybody. Thanks everybody. I want to thank everybody for watching these videos. You guys are awesome. I'm so sorry that we've been kind of dead on content these last few days and probably into next week a little bit. My finals don't wrap up till Wednesday. I graduate Sunday, so gonna be a bit, but yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for always tuning in and watching, and we'll have more stuff coming. If you like this video and you haven't already, I would recommend subscribing, but you can also hit the like button to help us out and hit us with your comments if you have any. For Kellen Brower on Start Your Systems, this is Track Walk episode 77 ? And I'm Simulator.